Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines. Friday, November 8th, Val spots big trouble.
The sun plus Uranus could be an explosion.
Seven of Swords.
Sorry to be so dramatic.
2 days later, Ukrainian drones strike Moscow and escalate the prospect of war. Last week, a clue about secrets and domestic affairs.
I know I shouldn't say this on YouTube, but the fourth house, it has to do with domestic affairs. The Brits knew about this strike.
Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is definitely information that is, mum's the word, secret.
6 days later, claims that England knew all along.
Welcome, I'm Astrologer Val Evans, and you're watching Royal Revelations. It is November 22nd, 2024, and today we're focused on next week's scandalous headlines in the kingdom. If Prince Andrew is in danger, and will Princess Beatrice be betrayed by someone she loves? On this show, we make predictions on current events and how they affect royal family members, Great Britain, and the world to teach astrology and show you how to make your own personal predictions using your predictive solar return chart. And if you'd like help, you can go to my website and order a predictive solar return calendar, and it's at astrologywithval.as.me. A special thanks to the members, the valedictorians, that make this content possible. If you'd like to become a valedictorian and support us, please click the join button or the link in the description box. Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot will be joining me in a minute to review past week's clues from the astrological charts and tarot cards, and of course, make some new predictions. To Taurus Moon Tarot 761, that's Amber, and feel free to reach out to her on email, or you can hit her up on YouTube. I just dropped this, Are They Lying? The Menendez brothers. This is for the members. And also recently I dropped the Elizabeth Taylor wedding charts. So fascinating. Now there are 2 parts to Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, hey, Amber.
Hello.
Hello. I've got to get my tea. It is cold in England.
It is chilly. Snow, I hear. Snow.
Thank you, Saturn. Saturn moving forward and squaring Mercury. And then on top of it, we've got Mercury retrograde going into retrograde. I pay attention to the holidays, and there's usually one holiday, whether it's the American Thanksgiving or just Christmas time. And there's usually one that's in Mercury retrograde. And for Americans and those who celebrate Thanksgiving, it's going to be quite difficult, I think, whether it's travel, the usual stuff. So I hope everyone checks their documents and uses caution. I am showing 2 cards that you had come up with for the show. So I was wondering if you could explain it to us.
Yeah, and I actually have this Mercury card, speaking of Mercury, that also came out with the pull with the 3rd house. So it's a lot of Mercury sort of energy that I was seeing. But with the Ace of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups, these are a little bit iridescent, so I apologize if they're hard to see, but this is definitely some kind of loss or delay. And this is children, teachers, money, but it's big. It's something very big if it's an ace. So I was curious to see what the charts might show around that, or siblings. It could be siblings too.
I see some of that. It's very big. It's coming up, and it's one of those brace yourselves moments. I am going to say hi to everybody first. Buckeye Clay Fan is here. Michelle, hello from England. The Face Painter, Cygnus, and we've got KK. Nice to see you. Barbara, Golden Aura, Patsy, Christy, Isabel. How are you doing, Isabel? Santana, bonjour. And Toy's here. Nice to see you. We do not have Angel today, but she sends her regrets. She'll be back, I think, next week. And hello, Karen. So, all right, so let's get started. And I'm going to move on to showing everybody real quickly how to pull your solar return chart if you want to pull yours and follow along with us. And you can see personal aspects for you. And so you're going to go to AstroSeek. You're going to pull your birth chart. You're going to hit the horoscopes tab and pull up your birth chart. Then what you're going to do is look to the top right, go to the solar return for the year of your last birthday. Could still be pulling 2023. And but most of us are pulling 2024 at this point. And then you're going to hit the solar only, so no planets on the outside. And that's how you're going to get your solar return for this year. Make sure in the location that you put the location that you had your last birthday, where you were. And hey, Marib, nice to see you. And we've had quite a few things come up because we're talking about Virgo rising in the chart for the week. And so, of course, Virgo represents pets. So unfortunately, Queen Camilla had to say goodbye to a beloved pet. And we also had a headline, too, of a veterinarian who unalived himself because he was so depressed from having to euthanize pets in his job. Terrible. So, yeah. And let's see, what else do I have here? I have here, remember we were talking about cleaners last week.
Yes.
Like clockwork, we've got a scandal about cleaners. And last week, you were probably like this too. It's like, cleaners. How are cleaners going to come into this? Well, sure enough, Downing Street cleaners and their salaries revealed for Prime Minister Keir Starmer. So crazy, the themes that we get. Yeah. So we are going to be looking at the theme for this week. And so we're going to pull for November 24th, midnight. And just like we do every week, the 24th, we're going to look at this chart. Now, we're still going to be in Virgo for a little while as far as the Ascendant, and anybody who wants to understand more about astrology, you just got to pay attention first to the Ascendant. That's going to show the horoscope or the personality of the week for whatever location you're typing in. So for us, we're entered London. We've got some whoppers. I mean, it's because I think with Uranus being in the Algol area of the devil, it kind of makes for some shocks. And that's not going to be forever, but it's going to be kind of like, oh my God. And so we saw this in the past week when it came to Ukraine strikes on Moscow. Now we're going to talk a little bit about world politics, and then we're going to get right into some of the scandals we think are coming up for the royals. We hope not, but I'm seeing a few things that I'm a little concerned about. So Amber, I know you can help me with that. This is my guide. I did this real quick. For like mundane, there's a lot more detail I could have put into it, but this is the general thing. And for the 7th house, that's allies. So I'm going to look at the 7th house often now when it comes to allies, what the allies are doing. The 6th house is stuff that maybe the allies can't see, the enemies, but it can also show that there are secrets that the allies have that nobody can see. And also another important one is the 3rd house, because you want to know, is there danger? Is there imminent danger in my local area? So I usually look at the 3rd house for that, but it also represents transportation and any kind of issues that are coming up there. So there is a quick primer on that. The 8th house, keeping in mind, the 8th house is other people's money, and it's the 2nd house of the 7th. So it's going to show what the allies are doing and if they've got any money, or, if the funding is affecting decision-making, all of that good stuff. So there is the Ascendant, the Moon. This is something I think that has to do with a home, cleaning a home. Like we're already seeing, because the moon represents a home. Yeah. And 11 degrees is Uranus, the Uranus degree. So that is a shock. So shocks, and also can show Virgo is also not only pets, but writers.
Yeah.
So we can't really see a lot from this. So we would have to go with a bigger chart here. And what am I seeing here? And this is what I'm going to ask you about. We've got a big T square. Now, this is starting on
Yeah.
Sunday. Look at my triangle. It's always horrible. Let me try that again. So here it is. And there's a problem here, and it starts right on Sunday. It's in the 10th house. And I think this goes along with what you're talking about children, because this is communications, it's children. But I also think that Pisces is, according to me, Pisces is Russia. So it's very possible that as of Sunday, he could nobody has any connection whatsoever. Now, that could also be Mercury retrograde. But the 10th house, this is the government. It's out in the open. It is Jupiter, to your point, has to do with teachers. Yeah. So this could be a teacher strike. But I'll tell you what, because we have the moon opposing Saturn, that is death. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. And so people are talking about a death. This could still be Liam. This looks like it's not great news immediately on Sunday.
Yeah. I almost see this, this first card, Page of Wands in reverse. So this is children. This is a young person. To me, I'm sort of seeing, and then I got the Gemini card. So I saw Jupiter in Gemini. It's something very big, like a big mass movement of children. You see, like you might be seeing a lot of groups of children being moved, transported, changing locations. It's sort of, this is what I'm seeing with the change of location with this in the reverse.
I saw the same thing, and I think it might have to do with the migrants' kids and foreign children. This is not good. I'm trying to think with Virgo. This is workers. This is the working class.
Right.
But at the same time, there's another chart I'm going to show you, and it does show foreigners, but little kids. So, with Mercury in retrograde, everybody's mind is just not normal. And the ones who really have a problem have a hard time getting through this period. Now we've got Mercury retrograde going it's really strong on the 25th of November. But there was an article that came out about how with the protests, the far right protests that happened, I believe it was July 29th, that there were some people online that were stoking the fire. They had great jobs, great lives, and the police were talking about how their lives are destroyed now. Like that's it. They got arrested. They were put in jail. So there were a lot of people who were hiding as far as, their beliefs. And that period really drew them out and they were exposed. So good, but not good.
More confirmation with Virgo. This came out in reverse. Again, this is a traveler. This is someone moving. This is transportation. It's in the reverse. So, and it's the Virgo card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the bottom of the chart. And this is really interesting. Now, if we see something like this in our charts, we look to the blue lines. That's the whole point of looking at the solar return. When you see a problem and you want to address it, and how do you do that? Well, you want to see what's easy, what's helping you. And in this case, we have Venus in Capricorn. Now, it just occurred to me it could be Princess Catherine because she's a Capricorn. This is a family lady. This is someone possibly, maybe she's older because of Saturn. Saturn shows an older female, but definitely with the moon shows a female who wants to help, a female that is... this could be somebody in the government because of Capricorn representing government. So it could be government, family, organization, or something like that. Somebody's getting help. I really think that this is going to be a significant development, and it's going to be probably on Sunday. Now, we only have Sunday being a Mercury day. That's a whole other topic because this looks kind of dangerous with 22. But can you can you find out a little bit more about who this woman is? It looks like she's got black hair because of Capricorn.
Yeah. And I went on mute moments ago because there are lovely giggling children in the street, and I thought you would overhear all these children as we were
Oh my God. What is it with those sounds with us? The last week I got a motorcycle, and then there was Prince William on a motorcycle, so, well, as long as they're giggling, we like that. That's good. That's a good sign. Okay.
Yes. Let's see who this could be. Wow, the Queen of Swords. So this card is actually a redhead, but dark. I mean, it's a dark redhead. I'll hold this up again. Very masculine type of feminine energy. Very masculine. Very outspoken. Someone who is in control. And has a wide communication. About... this is our spy in the deck. This is a little Page of Swords. Is someone who spies, someone who secrets information, controls information. I'm seeing sort of a control element here, in charge of people's communication. Wow. It could be someone with some notoriety with the Strength card for Leo.
So it could be somebody that has to do with the royal family, you think? Maybe it is Princess Catherine.
It could be. It could be sort of controlling the narrative, speaking, but it actually has a bit of a negative connotation the way I'm reading these cards, that they are in. Maybe there's a little manipulation around communication, but someone with power. Definitely someone with power.
We've got Mercury at 22 degrees now this is a bridge again. We're going to hear about bridges for a while. We just heard about one last week where there was some kind of demolition and they were covering that. It was about a bridge. I think it was in Estonia. Yeah. And Mercury is also colleges. It is Hollywood, Netflix. Oh, Netflix. And Harry and Meghan just came out with a Netflix, or is going to come out with Netflix. I guess you could call it a documentary. There's an issue here with Mercury, and this will be on Sunday, Wednesday again, because Mercury is in the 4th house, which is Wednesday. Right. So Sunday or Wednesday, we're talking about something. Let me look at the whole chart. Oops.
Right when you said Wednesday, I pulled a card to see what it is, and I have the Devil in reverse. So there's that 22 degrees in reverse. There's something detached, something being detached. That's government too.
Okay. So something maybe, I mean, with the coronation information and how much it was, King Charles's coronation, there are a lot of anti-monarchists who are sharpening their knives, I think. I can only imagine. So it could maybe have something to do with that. And especially the problems are heightened because of the extreme cold. Mercury is squaring Neptune at 22 degrees. That's child abuse. This could make the news maybe on Sunday, Wednesday, or Saturday. And this is maybe something that's coming out about that. Neptune is the Catholic Church. So more about the Catholic Church, possibly. So children, not good headlines, yucky headlines.
Yeah.
Okay. There is something though. Somebody is being successful. And I say that because we've got the sun in Sag, and that's the US. It's right next to part of fortune. And it is sextiling Pluto here, which is an incredible amount of power. Now, why is it in the 3rd house? And now this could also be just the government too, or a foreign government, but there's something, this is tech because of Pluto at 0 degrees. Maybe some kind of unveiling of a new transportation system or a new train. What do you think about that? It looks pretty big, and that would be coming in, I would say it would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday or Thursday.
If it's a yes or no, the answer seems to be it's not launch. There's a delay of a launch. the Virgo card again keeps coming up, but the Magician in reverse and the Sun in reverse is something is not successful. So I'm not sure what that is, but it might be that it's a financial sort of blowout, that the money is in the headlines. It's around the money. If there is some kind of transportation thing, there's an issue around the finances. Yes, it's like it's around the money to fund it or something. The headline might have to do with that. If there's transportation or tech, there's a question mark or a headline around the financial side of it.
And it could be a university too, because of Sagittarius representing the university, but also the church as well. So
the church. I literally, when you said that, I pulled the high priestess. So that definitely could be around the church.
Okay, so we're looking for more church headlines this week then. Okay, so this is Prince Andrew's profection year, and so he's in his 5th house profection year. When it's lit up, you can see that it's the toughest period of all the segments or sectors in your life. The 5th house of family is the most difficult that he's going to have to get through, and will end in February. And then it'll go on to the 6th house of work and health. So I thought that was notable. These little numbers here are all the other ages that he was when he had a 5th house profection year. So it can be very, very tough, whatever house is lit up. Before we get to Andrew, I want to look at the UK solar return chart. This is December. We're still here. But December 1st, it's actually going to be a little bit later than December 1st because we got to get to Scorpio. So I'm going to say probably maybe like December 10th or 7th or something like that. And so that's when Pluto kicks in, and there is a square to Jupiter. So Jupiter can mean teachers, to your point about teachers. There is some type of, this is workers, this is betrayals because of Pluto being here. And the 3rd house, again, it is transportation. I'm seeing much more transportation problems than I have in the past. So this could definitely be a transportation problem, but it can also mean a murder. And so I want to ask you, if this is a murder, who in the headlines that anybody would care about, not that we wouldn't care about people we don't know of, but who is the person that's going to be murdered and we're going to be taking notice of?
I'm going to get one to clarify this. This could be someone that is connected to the church, but I'm also feeling like it's someone quite young that might be known for money, finances, like a young financier, someone who is in that world of money, but it feels very young, and maybe they are connected to the church in some way.
Oh my God. We keep getting the page over and over again. It's like, and this has been, I don't know how long it's been, maybe a month or something, 2 months, 6 weeks or whatever. And it's like, well, who is this young person? And now at one point, a few episodes back, you had said something like the mentor apprentice.
Yes.
So that could be something, and very...
Definitely this card. The other thing is, I don't know that you see this in the chart, but it's like I see, it looks like a suicide, but it's not.
Okay. All right.
It's
we're going to take a look.
Made to look at,
That would be, Neptune is like the mystery. And the only thing I really see is that, 3rd house here that we're looking at is what we're talking about.
Could it be more about Kingston in December? The question around the manor?
Yes, he would be the financier. That would be Taurus. This is somebody who is talking a lot about money, maybe wanted to get away with something, but didn't, but then there's somebody else here. But
Yeah.
Pluto scoring Jupiter too is too much.
Mhm.
Too many words, too
Yeah.
much money,
Yes.
and betrayal of some type of financial scheme. Pluto is also investments. Again, it's going to
Mhm.
be, maybe the workers are striking yet again.
Uh-huh. Hangman in reverse. Yeah, it's like they're protecting something. It feels like there's information being protected to, the headline might be that it's this, and then we're finding out that it's this. There's some kind of, it feels like North Node kind of influence, like a mystery being, layers being peeled off of the onion. There's something
Okay.
being protected.
Janet says, is Neptune only the Catholic Church, or could it be Anglican, such as more information related to the Archbishop of Canterbury? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, any church, I think.
Mhm.
I see Neptune, good point on that, because that's really all we're talking about with the Archbishop. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, possible there, the Anglican. Now, Pluto looks like some kind of a murder that is local.
Mhm.
And this could be somebody at work, somebody coming home from work
Yeah.
but Jupiter also represents somebody between 12
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
16 years old too. So this is the solar chart for the UK. We haven't started this yet. It's going to start in January, but
Right.
and this is worthy of a whole other show, and I'll be on this weekend for that. But we've got Neptune and Saturn at the top, and that's pretty interesting because this can show a variety of things. Now, Neptune obviously is a scandal.
Mhm.
It's so weird because the past couple of months I've been showing people how Saturn and Neptune together means history's mystery. It's like it came up with a lot of different
Yeah.
conspiracies and controversies like JFK and all of that. So
Mhm.
history's mystery is coming in. It'll be the case for the UK for a few months at least, and it's in the 11th house of social media, community. Saturn can mean black, Neptune can mean water, so black
Mm.
water.
Right.
And that is obviously, everybody knows that as the defense contractor. So I don't know if they're still around anymore. Maybe they are secretly, but they were known to have their own army, like secret army. I'm sorry, not army, navy.
Yeah.
And so that would be Pisces.
Right.
But we have Moon and Uranus in the 12th house of secrets. So
Mm.
we're talking like we're just basically we're seeing England's chart here.
Yeah.
And you can see that there is a triangle here with Pluto and these lovely planets. And this looks pretty powerful. So what we would want to do is we would want to find out who's who. Okay, instead of just guessing like, oh, this means this means that. So we want to go to first, I might go to Saturn, and Saturn is the 8th house lord. Um, oh, that's investments. So more Ponzi schemes,
Yeah.
possibly. But I also want to say that it has to do with maybe some fake videos, some
Mhm.
old videos, something like that. I wonder if this 2025 is the year where we're really looking at AI types of things, trying to
Yeah.
figure out if everything is true or not.
Yeah.
But this is a person here. This could also be a priest, an older priest that has big headlines.
Mm.
So let's see here. What else do I have?
Could that mini grand trine that you shared a moment ago, would that
Yeah.
mean, or could it mean an old history mystery solved? That it is solved?
Yeah, because the 9th house is, in the history books or in, literature, could be something that's coming out that is extremely famous,
Yeah.
and the secrets come out. So the
Yeah.
12th house. So that would be a great question. What secret is coming out?
Okay. Oh, Well, that means something is, there's Capricorn.
Wow.
Ooh, around a king. Secret around the King of Wands.
Come on.
Well,
this is too much. I can't.
the devil is about addiction.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this Five of Pentacles, which I use the word addiction, but some kind of, evil intention around money. Or, like you said, a Ponzi scheme. That could literally be what this is. But someone with a lot of power. Mm-hmm. I have that Six of Cups again, which is around children and teachers.
Oh my God.
And, these two cards together, it's a little bit like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Sort of what I'm getting. Someone is sort of caught doing some funny finances, maybe that relates to children, orphanages, something around that.
Yeah, you said orphanages. I remember you said orphanages, and maybe it was the last show. So definitely coming in. This could be, that's interesting. Saturn is slavery. With Neptune, it's kind of like somebody who is trapped. But with the 11th house, could be an old religious network. A lot of people who become independent, they get their freedom. Can you ask who's getting their freedom?
Yeah. Let's see. Have the chills looking at this devil card where people are bound.
Yeah,
and not free, and they are enslaved in that imagery. I knew we would have this Seven of Cups. This is that Neptune. Can't believe what you see. Everything is confusion.
Whoa.
Let's see. It's like children, young people, or a woman with the Empress. Someone becoming free, a woman, a mother. Oh, women, single women, married. This is a lot of single women energy, women and children.
That ties back to what you've been saying for the past couple of months about females. There's some kind of women energy. So yeah, that would be a good thing. We would want something like that to happen. Okay. So Prince Andrew's solar return chart. This is February 19th. So if you're opening up your own solar return chart, you're going to go to the Ascendant. The first house is going to be your first birthday month. We are right here, November 19th. Now he is going from Pluto to Jupiter pretty much right now, which means the Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Sagittarius means horses. And this is why I was thinking about this, because we've already said the royals shouldn't be on horses right now. Just last week, Prince Andrew made headline. He managed to take control of the horse. We go from Pluto, which is jealousy, to Jupiter, and Jupiter's here, but it's squaring. I mean, this is serious. Like if I saw something like this, I would say to Prince Andrew, you better go somewhere, go to Spain, go somewhere, because this is Prince Charles right here, Pluto. This is a huge clash. It is a shock. It's possible that King Charles is cutting, because that's Aquarius, to cut, but at the same time, with Jupiter being the horse, and Aquarius being an accident, is there any chance? I mean, I've been watching too much Dynasty in Dallas over the years, but we're talking a high stakes type of situation, very wealthy people, lots of stress. Everyone's head isn't right. And that's what I was wondering, if maybe this month, is there something that Andrew is going to encounter?
This is actually sort of a mental health situation. And it has that Ace of Pentacles that came out earlier around his money. Will he be in hospital for some kind of, this looks like mental health? Oh, or he's cut. Some kind, like a slice with that Ace of Swords.
Yeah.
And the Nine of Swords. You know, gash to the head or forehead or something.
Yeah, it looks serious to me. And
the Tower in reverse. This means to me it's inevitable, but he will recover. At least there's that. It's not, I don't see fatality with the Tower in reverse.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Whoa, we've gotten the Tower quite a few times, but
Yeah.
which one would you rather have, the Tower or the Tower in reverse? I don't know. I don't want either of them. Christine says he better stay off the horse that got spooked. I know. And
I've had a few tough tumbles off of horses in my life.
Have you really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Broken bones.
Because it's in the first house. This is Prince Andrew's first house of identity. There could be some part of his identity that's cut. But then we've got one more thing to add to the equation. We've got King Charles here. And because why? The 11th house of older brother is in Scorpio. So that's why we look at Pluto. And it is squaring Black Moon Lilith in the 8th. This is at the 8th house. We don't like to mess with the 8th house.
And Black Moon Lilith at 15 degrees. What does that mean?
I'm glad you asked.
Thank
I think
you.
you know. I think you know. It's the assassination degree. The good thing is that there are blue lines to this. He can get some help if he wants, but there's just too much Aquarius there, which is very tough. So, and especially around the holidays, it's so hard. But we would look at the 11th house, which is Prince Charles. And so then we'd go to the sun, and the sun is right here. It is squaring Mars, which means older brother is very, very angry. And also squaring Mercury in the 3rd, showing they're not speaking, which we talked about last week. And sure enough, there's something in the press showing that they're not speaking. As far as 5th house, it just moved into Aquarius, which means an upset. It can mean a change of family dynamic. And so we're going to look at Uranus here. And Uranus is in Leo, which is the royal family, and then squaring the North Node in the 7th house. A lot of lies, a lot of deception. Real quick with Princess Beatrice, this is her solar return chart. And you can see that this is coming up right here, is Saturn at 18. This is her dad at 18 degrees and squaring Gemini. Crazy how it works out in everybody's charts the same way. And that is coming up. That's so August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
December 8th. This will be a few days before December 8th. So it'll be the first week of December. With dad being sad or not being able to talk to dad. Actually, communications with father stop. Why can't she talk to her dad? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah. It's odd. Let's see. Oof. Well, they're fighting. They are arguing. They could be arguing over financial independence. I mean, this card does tell you it's about financial independence. And this is a war of words. They're fighting over it. It's her choice. She has nothing nice to say at the moment. This could actually be Fergie stepping in to sort of give, sharp tongue lashing, separate, don't speak to one another. This Queen of Swords for sure. She's like, sort it out. Yeah. Keeping the peace. There might be headlines around her keeping the peace somehow. Or attempting to. Since we're on the topic of Beatrice, and we're going to have some good news, I promise, but it looks very difficult for Ito and Christine tongue lashing, I know. Yes, I did a show, you're going to have to check it out, on Princess Beatrice entitled Behave.
It's so funny that you said that, Eleanor. Could you kindly look at Nigel Farage's chart? Check out my video on Nigel. I should probably update it, but I was asking if he was going to have any type of success. And I think it was the King of Cups that came up or something like that, but real Trump types of, connotations there, which he's definitely aligning with and probably getting some power. So yes, you'll definitely have to check that out. With Princess Beatrice, we've got Neptune coming up, which is a scandal. This is a partner. Okay. Let's just say it's a partner in the 10th house. It looks like he's doing pretty well. With the 10th house is her careers. Maybe he's helping her in some way. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is that up around this period of time, and that's going to be, so this is August, September, October, November, December, January, February. This is February 8th to March 8th. This looks like something is breaking up. Okay. This could be a sudden move with their home because this is the 4th house for her husband or her partner, but there is something that is potentially going to be ripped up, and I would like to know what that is.
In February, let's see. The 2 of Cups in reverse. That is definitely a partnership breakup. What is this?
Wow.
That's an emotional break from, oh my gosh, I can't with the Devil cards. Honestly, that feels like a stalker. Someone's mask is falling off and they are cutting ties. The Emperor, this is big. Not who I thought you were. There is someone around her that is absolutely not the person they are perceived to be. And they're done. They're cut out. They are cut out of it.
Wow. Not necessarily a husband, because in the 7th house, it can be partnerships, maybe a business partner.
Well, the Emperor is business for sure.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad that you're here to tell us that they're big cards, because honestly, I wouldn't know.
These are definitely together. That's a very sort of evil power, lots of evil energy.
Yikes.
Obsessive energy.
Obsessive. I wonder what's obsessive about it. So this is going back to your original spread, and this is the Evening Standard Solar Return, which we are very well familiar with. And we are looking at this month. So we would start with June 11th, which is when their birth chart started. So June 11th, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So December 11th to, it's a very small month. There's just a little small house there, but December 11th to January 11th. And so Saturn is going to be ruling, and we've got this square here to this little group of people. Well, it's secrets, it's documents. We've talked about it before. Gemini is documents. We've got little twins. We've got people in power. And something is happening because Saturn is up in the 10th house. This is almost like hidden enemies die. Now, this could be actually for the solar return of the Evening Standard. It could be for the Evening Standard itself. So maybe there are a lot of people who are criticizing the Evening Standard for this month. But it does seem like there could, keep in mind that Pisces represents alcohol, chemicals. It can represent going missing for a long time and being put in like a prison of some sort. But you said something last week about a kidnapping. Do you think it's a kidnapping?
It could be, or it feels, again, because of Saturn, like an old kidnapping case, and it's
it's out in the news. That would be good.
Someone is caught and then put into jail. The person is put away, and maybe it's a multiple one with multiple people in that 12th house. The Gemini thing. Okay. Yeah. It's about, there's like 3. This is Mercury again. I keep getting that card. Where someone is held to account for something. And it's a group of 3. Judgment card. Yes, this is like something is coming back from the past. You know, this
good.
Judgment card in reverse is like something from before coming back.
Karma. No, that's December 11th to January 11th. Also, actually, that goes and continues through probably to the end of January. So you can find something good out of this, though. And there is a trine to the 5th house. So this could be someone who is adopted that finds out the truth. This could be a family is able to return. Remember, when Saturn is in a good aspect with you're going to see the blue lines. That means a memory. It means the past in a good way. It means returning.
Right.
And so there is some element of being able to return happily to someplace. So I think that's good. Okay, this is UK chart. Let's start the chart with January 1st of this past January 2024. Right. And we go all the way around to, so this would be January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So July is when, or right around here, as the 8th house it's going into Gemini. So we look to Mercury, and Mercury is right here. And what is it doing? Mercury is what you hear and see, and it is squaring Neptune. And there was so much news about how people were not seeing the right things online, and it was making them go crazy, and they were so freaking upset. And Mars is right next to Mercury, so that's showing the sentiment of these people at around this time frame. And interesting too, you know, the 7th house that month was getting into, you know, the devil is you know, kind of like the reverse magician, you know, this concoction putting together. So that was difficult. And keeping in mind too, they were talking about how the Russian bots would kick in at midnight for every day for a few weeks to try to stir up this trouble. So I definitely think that was part of that equation there. I thought that was super interesting. Oh, so I was going to finish with a question for myself.
Okay.
And then I would like you to ask me a question next week, and I'll pull your soul return. If you have a question, I'm sure you do. Now, my question is, I have so much Gemini in my progress chart, and now what does Gemini represent? It represents Italy, it represents pizza, which is I love. It represents being on television or YouTube, communications, and I cannot stop thinking about Italy. So I want to know, do you see me going to, I'm going to say live in Italy. I think it's no, but I want to just ask.
Do we in 2025? I just saw the star card.
Really?
Note, it just flipped. Yes.
And that's good.
That's like your dream come true. Yes.
Definitely my dream come true.
Yes.
You know, just love Italy. But like long term. Will I eventually like have some kind of base in Italy?
Okay, let's see. I just want one card for this. Yes.
Come on.
That's a beautiful card. This is Sagittarius. So you might travel far and wide, adventure. This is a good card to have as in the upright. Yeah.
Great. I'll take it.
And he works for himself. He works for himself. He has animals, and he might even have a farm.
I would love a farm. So I guess we are out of time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next Friday.
Thank you.